Like, it's like we're losing everyone that was close to us.
One name Jordan and one name Stacy. S with the S from the SR Showkey. Dust man down with a mask like.
Where would this guy be now, 9 years later? He had so much potential that wasn't tapped into. A story we're going to get into today is about a party that he arrived at that things went wrong quick. Even the killer now has done numerous interviews, and we're going to get into some of the stuff around it.
I don't think I would have got murdered. Like, even if I got found guilty, I don't think I would have got murdered. Just the fact that he got caught with his knife and there was fingerprints on it.
From what's been documented, his early life and background, he was born around July 1999, grew up in Peckham. Through his school years, was actually described as talented and intelligent student with aspirations to study music at college after his GCSEs, so naturally he got into music. Showkey emerged as an aspiring rapper in the UK drill and UK rap scene, gaining recognition for his charismatic delivery and lyrical talent. He released songs and mixtapes, including notable freestyles.
Fight me, aye, skid up my dust, and then hella verbal man cuss. Like I don't wanna hear no sound, no hiccup, no cough. Can man go jail, a man come home, now everyone thinks they're tough. But man go jail, a man come home, but nobody ain't been touched. What? Yeah, I dip man down, asked T-Show if I dip man down. Had man screaming please on the floor, and I ain't seen my man for a while. Anyhow, I see my man, if I got my ting then I'll dip him.
And his daily duppy for Grime Daily that dropped just a day before his death. You were seeing his music tributes to his friend as well, M. Dot, that had passed away. This affected Showkey a lot. This is his friend on the screen, M. Dot rapping. They was coming up doing their thing together, and when he lost him, he was deeply affected.
Spraying the essence, don't give you a lesson, I'm playing it. All the job obeying it, hits, we be donating it. These donnies know I'm radical. Yeah, sometimes my moves classical. And you can ask your girl, she wants man's cooker like Spaniel. After hearing you don't own me, now your girl she want for me.
In terms of his friend M. Dot in that case, he was stabbed to death in April 2016, and Showkey recorded Taking My Friends, dedicated to M. Dot, with lyrics reflecting on knife crime and street life, including Many men wish death upon me.
Wish death upon me, most of my ends, Lord defend me, you took M from me, more than a friend to me, oh no, you took slits away, more than a memory.
Track garnered 200,000 views at the time, and this guy before the age of 16 went on to get millions of views. His manager Junior from Faultless Records at the time praised Showkey's undeniable talent, noting he had potential to succeed in music or any field. Prominent artists in the scene like Giggs had admired his work. Giggs called himself a fan. Although Showkey was worried, his post on Snapchat hinted at the dangers of road life, with one of the snaps saying, "Road life is mad, anything could happen man, I could get stabbed or anything, but if I die, I'm going to be an effing legend." This reflected his awareness for the risk he had faced. August 5th, 2016, Showkey went and turned in a house party that got out of control. The party thrown by a year 10 girl went viral on social media, attracting 100 to 200 attendees. Within 25 seconds of arriving, Showkey was stabbed twice in the chest, one wound penetrating his heart. In the packed hallway, he staggered outside and collapsed and died at 9:45 p.m. Despite emergency heart surgery at the scene, witnesses reported partygoers filming his final moments on Snapchat, and the footage spread online. If you guys know anything about this generation, the Facebook events, parties at school were getting out of hand quick. Parents would come home and there'll be hundreds of people from all different schools that ended up attending. And many times like this, where the girls are at, the rival gang members, just young boys would go there with knives and situations would get out of control. Around 2 days later, a 15-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of murder and held in custody. Tributes are poured in from family, friends and the rap community. Showkey's father called him a wonderful boy and a true talent. His mother described him as an amazing son. Giggs led tributes urging young people to get out of the hood, and a crowdfunding page was set up for Showkey's funeral.
What artist are you bringing back to life?
The original, the one and only Showkey. You guys know about Showkey. Showkey was the hardest about. He was young when he died. He only died when he was 16, which is crazy because he had so much potential in it. I used to listen to his tunes on the bus with my friends, like, come back from school when I was a youth.
Me and them man, they're different. Why? Cause I want to see figures. And them man want to see bitches. I want to see numbers. I want to see digits. I want money, they want girls, cause I'm gully. I want shells, I want to pump you with big bells. I want to work hard to hit sales.
So the 15-year-old boy would have to face a court case over killing Showkey. August 10th, 2016 was the first appearance from this boy, and he ended up making a plea in October 27th, 2016 to not guilty. But he was not named at this time to his age. He was only 15 years old. The trial took place at the Old Bailey. The prosecution alleged the defendant deliberately stabbed Showkey twice with a Rambo-styled knife. The defendant admitted to stabbing but claimed self-defense, stating Showkey had a knife and was about to attack him, citing prior bad blood. An earlier incident where Showkey allegedly threatened him was documented in court as well. He denied being part of a rival gang, but had claimed that Showkey was linked to the 814 gang, a group from SC14 involved in drug sales, and witnesses have described a chaotic scene, with one seeing the defendant pull out a blade from his waistband, and another noting he said, I did it before fleeing over the fence. 814 gang were very popular in music at this time. From youngsters, there was fear around them. Two teenage girls testified, one describing Showkey's struggle to survive as friends begged him to stay down, and noting the blood and the Snapchat recordings. Another saw pushing and shoving in the hallway before Showkey was stabbed. When the 15-year-old man that took the life of Showkey was spoken to in court, he said this is a situation that got out of control out of fear. He claimed that Showkey himself had a knife that he was threatening him with. He ran to the kitchen at this party and got his own one and just ran at him and did not expect this to happen. He ended up stabbing Showkey in the process. He claims he fled the scene of the incident and ran straight to his aunties. He can't remember if he threw the knife or dropped it. He just panicked and couldn't sleep that night. In court, the music was brought up as well. Showkey's song Taking My Friends was played to jurors, highlighting his lyrics about men wishing death upon him, underscoring dangers he had faced. Actually, a couple of weeks later, the jury cleared this 15-year-old boy of murder and manslaughter, accepting his self-defense claim. Judge had told him this via a video link. Despite him getting off of it, a few years later, he's probably still immature, a young guy. Someone said, why'd you have to end my favourite rapper? He says, I guess I didn't want you to have that favourite rap anymore. Did you regret what happened to Showkey? If I said yeah, I'd be lying. Showkey bullied you, you're a neek, it was self-defense, you were pressured to do it. Thanks, real ends no anyway. Someone said, so what, you had beef with Slimzy before you had beef with Show? And he said something like that. That was another rapper that he made music with Slimzy on them M. Dot songs as well. And finally, he spoke a little bit more detail. Me and my friend wanted to know if it is true that you cried in court or it's just rumours. I'm not even going to take this one because it's actually just stupid. Never shedded one tear in court or jail. The only time I cried is when I told my mum that I wrote off your favourite rapper's chest and now he's done out here. Real talk. It's strange, a 15-year-old crying that he could spend a long time in prison. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But this guy, many years later now, has given an interview where he seems a little bit more mature and reflective about this situation.
Did you say you was confident going to the court case?
I'll say about 60-40, 60% being confident. I was confident because of the evidence that they had. I didn't think they had enough evidence to prove that I intended to kill him. Yeah, I don't think the evidence wasn't pretty strong. But yeah, it was just about me proving my point and getting my side of the story across clearly.
And what was the strongest evidence that they was throwing?
The strongest evidence? The strongest evidence was probably my family saying that I came home and said I'd done something. That was probably the strongest evidence.
But how did you feel when you heard that?
A bit upset, but as I get older, you can't blame no one. You put someone in a dodgy situation, you don't know what the outcome is going to be, innit? Literally.
Your family members are going to say anything they can to protect you as a witness in court. Obviously, he had said that he had run off straight from the scene and just panicked. It wasn't a calculated event. This was a heat of the moment situation, but we've seen so many of them go the other way. In terms of it not being broken down proper in trial and the person just going to jail despite claiming self-defense.
And I guess talk me through the highs and the lows of the trial for you.
I guess the high in the trial for me was on like the second day. They brought out the suspected murder weapon and it had Showkey's blood on it. And I knew for 100% sure that wasn't a murder weapon. So from that day, I was kind of 100% sure that was one of their knives. And that would have come out positively for me if that was found true. Yeah. But yeah, in the end of it was his brother's fingerprints on the knife and Showkey's blood on the knife. So yeah, he must have been touching himself and then realised, oh shit, I got a knife. Then yeah, his brother must have taken it and tried to hide it or something like that. But yeah, about 2 knives got found, both with the brother's fingerprints and one with Showkey's blood on it.
What's so frustrating about this situation, obviously, is the potential as well. Showkey had released that Day Duppy. He was about to become one of the biggest rappers in the UK. I cannot even picture where he'd be right now, but definitely up there, one of the top rappers in the UK. I believe that because of his talent at such a young age. And obviously getting involved in situations, carrying knives, was so below him at this time. He's about to have everything.
I guess the lowest part of the trial was seeing the prosecution make up lies or narratives to suit what they're trying to say, to try and make me look even worse than the situation actually was. So yeah, that was probably the worst part of the trial.
Talk me through the verdict.
The verdict was not guilty under self-defense, basically meaning that it was a lawful killing, that I defended myself, literally.
But what reaction did you have at that stage, or what went through your
head? Oh, in that stage, I was actually in the secure unit, so I wasn't actually in court. Because for the verdict, they was trying to find out for about a week or so. So they didn't want to keep sending me from Bristol to court, from Bristol to London every day.
It seemed like this guy at this point didn't really know. He says 60-40, whether he thought he would get off of it or go to jail for a long time.
Called me, telling me my solicitor wants to speak to me. I was thinking like maybe this is some new evidence or something, or maybe they got something bad to tell me. Then yeah, they said they got my verdict. Yeah, once they said they got my verdict, I was just sitting in a room waiting for them to bring my verdict, heart pounding like fuck. Yeah, and then the juror stood up and told me, yeah, not guilty under self-defense. The most amazing feeling in the world.
One thing that was truly unique about everything in this story is how aware Showkey is. Of course, he had friends that was passing away around him, and he spoke about the dangers of knife crime in many different freestyles. Obviously tributes to his songs, but also freestyles like this.
Yeah, he was Mr. Mash working, had the whole ends hurting. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong person. P and Weds telling me to come off the roads, saying fuck this beef, little nigga, come and get dope. Fam, you just never know. If there was beef on the ends, then every nigga knew that he was getting involved. And at night, so tragic. Paramedics trying to tell me don't panic, saying nothing's gonna happen. Now they rushing you away, and me and Ty speeding down the mains, saying fuck getting caught up in traffic. On arrival, I slowed down. I saw so many tears from I broke down. Low M&C1 turned up and broke out, saying something's getting smoked now in Motown. Why? Cause fam, they took his life from a fucking knife. But we gon' see eye to eye when I make man blind. Fam, I swear I cried, and I ain't cried that much. But for him I'll ride, and I'll grind non-stop. Lord, just taking my ends and most of my friends. Why?
But sadly, this time round, Showkey was the victim. It has a knock-on effect. His friends spoke about how it affected him. People having pressure to go and do ride-outs as the next person falls in line in these gangs. It's just a knock-on effect that never ends, but it's never worth being involved in any of it.
Look at Ike, he's not riding for his bros, man. Oh, they must feel shit. Oh, they must be shaking in their grave that he's not riding for them. First, therefore, was M-Lots. I was angry, so I was in prison, so I was more angry them times. I just wanted revenge. Right. I just wanted to come out and revenge for my bros. That's what I was really wanted to do, and not to like make it sound anyway. As soon as I came out of jail, that was the first thing my head was on, and that's the first thing we went to go do. When Showkey died, that's when we started to realize that, raw man, it's like God showing us every time you feel like you want to go back to the road or something, I'll show you why. You get me? There's something about the roads that you never have to do. The roads will always show you why you don't need to be on the roads. They'll always show you that something will happen on the roads and will show you directly that you don't need to be here. And then that was the last, Showkey's death was the last thing that I said, nah man, I can't do this no more, because I don't want to lose more friends and more people that I grew up with, because I've already lost my foundation. You're gonna go. And all those people that are talking that don't even know us are not gonna care. They don't care. When you go to jail, do they care? When these things happen, do they care? They don't care. So I was just telling everyone individually, like, we gotta do our own thing. What do you want to do with your life over there? I said to like one of my friends. He said he wants to be whatever. I said, go do that. What do you want to do? Go do that. I want to be a musician. I'm going to go do that. I'm the only person that can do it now, because everybody that I grew up with or was in the group is dead. So who's left to do it? If I die, the whole legacy is done. Yeah. If I go to prison, the whole legacy is done. There's no coming back to it. So I have to be the person to do it for it.
Showkey died. RP Showkey. And it was a big spanner, because especially for Q and the rest of the guys, because the RIP End song was being made, and I remember Showkey was just like, oh yeah, let me just go to a barbecue, do you know what I'm saying? Let's just, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to go to a barbecue just before he went to go lay his verse, and do you know what I'm saying? Unfortunate happened, and it got to a point where the guys, they had to change the verse to add Showkey's name on the song, and that was RP M. Showkey song, do you know what I'm saying? So big RP to them though, man. And this is where it came to finding out, how am I gonna build this legacy?
Showkey still gets spoken about a lot to this day. This guy was so young and only released a handful of songs compared to what he could have had in a full career. Rest in peace to Showkey, but we see a lot of rappers wasting their potential, like in my last video, there's a case between Fredo and Digga D.